Hello friends, today Mr. Deepak Jain is here. GATE 2010 All India Rank 35 is going to discuss about strategies on how to prepare for GATE in the limited time.
Hello friends, today we are going to see how we can prepare for GATE exam in limited time period. Now, as you know that day by day exam is gaining very much importance. GATE exam is important for getting into PG studies in IITs, NITs, and then GATE exam is now highly needed for getting jobs in especially in PSUs. And in private sector also, if you are a GATE qualified student, they would prefer you. So let us see how can you prepare for GATE exam in limited time period. What should be the strategy while preparing for GATE exam? Now let us see what is GATE pattern. Now these days GATE syllabus is divided into two portions. One is the technical part and other one is the non-technical part. In the technical part, there are generally 12 to 14 subjects which are asked for 70 to 72 marks. These all subjects are the ones which you have studied during your BTech studies. Another portion which is a non-technical portion, in which there are basically three subjects, which is mathematics, general aptitude and English. Mathematics is engineering mathematics. This also you studied during your BTech. And general aptitude and English is a common thing, like you should be knowing it. You must have prepared for it for other exams also. So this is an important portion. Generally, what students make most of the mistake is that they would only prepare for technical subjects and they would not give very much importance to the non-technical portion, which is wrong. As you can see that non-technical portion is asked for 28 to 30 marks. So it is very important. So one should give much importance to non-technical subjects also. Now let us see how many subjects you should study per day. Ideally, one should study one or two technical subjects per day and one non-technical subject. One non-technical subject, I mean either you should study maths or FT or English. Now why I am giving more stress on non-technical thing is because non-technical portion contains 30% of the marks. So you should give 30% of the time for the 30% of the marks. Even if you don't give 30% of the time, at least give 1 hour every day for the non-technical portion. I would suggest that whenever you wake up in the morning, you just give 1 hour to the non-technical thing. Either you practice maths or FT or English every day. Or if you can't do it in the early morning, you fix a slot in the late evening before you hitting the bed. You study maths, aptitude or English. I would suggest like you can do like this. On Monday you can study maths. On Tuesday you can study FT. On Wednesday you can study English. So alternately, and again Thursday you can study maths. Friday you can study FT and Saturday you can study English. So you can study it like this every morning, say 6 to 7 a.m. 1 hour. Or if you can't do it in the morning, you may do it 9 to 10 p.m. 1 hour. So this much study, this 1 hour would be enough for the non-technical portion, and this 1 hour will secure 30% of the marks. See, if you can score 25 to 30 marks from this, that means you have already qualified GATE. And now for the non-technical portion, it means you are just getting good marks when you are studying for the non-technical portion. You are studying actually for a good rank because you have already qualified GATE from the non-technical portion. So this is how the things change. Previously you were studying very hard for the technical portion. Now from the non-technical portion only you can qualify the GATE. For the technical portion you are studying for a good rank only. So which subject to start from? There is a lot of confusion among students from which subject should we begin our preparation. Now what I feel is that you should start with subject you are most comfortable. Why should we start with the subject you are most comfortable? Now let us assume you are a mechanical engineering student and your favorite area is thermodynamics. Then maybe your second favorite subject could be RAC, third favorite could be IC engine, then fluid mechanics, and so on. Say you are not comfortable, or you feel the most tough subject in mechanical engineering is, according to you, is theory of machine. So you should begin with this order. First finish thermodynamics, then RAC, then IC engine, then fluid mechanics, and then theory of machine in the last. Why one should begin this way? You know what happens when you start preparation? If you start preparing with the most toughest subject, it will be difficult for you to sit for long hours. So you will not able to inculcate the habit of sitting for long hours. You will not be able to finish that subject in the planned time. Say maybe you have allotted 7 days to finish theory of machine. But if you will start it in the beginning, it will be difficult for you to finish it in 7 days. Secondly, you will lose the confidence. If you will not finish the subject in the planned time, you will start losing the confidence and whole plan will destroy. Whereas if you start with thermodynamics, which is your favorite area, if it is, say you have planned it for 7 days. Now what will happen? You will be able to give, if you have planned for 3-4 hours a day, you might be able to spend 4 hours a day very comfortably, since this is your favorite area. Secondly, since it is your favorite area, you might able to finish this subject in less than 7 days, maybe 5 days or 6 days. So you will have 1 extra day left. So due to all these factors, your confidence will boost up. So you will be easily able to follow the plan which you have scheduled. So that is why I suggest to start with the most comfortable subject, and in this manner. Okay, now comes the time management question. How to manage time? See, this is the most important question. One should do like, how should we manage time for GATE exam? Because GATE exam is, there are so many subjects, whole engineering is being asked in the GATE exam. So how can we do it? So I would suggest you make schedule. Schedule is very important. See, everyone is working hard. There is no alternative of working hard. But one should not just work hard, one should work smart to get a good rank in it. Now how to work smart? So you have to make schedules for that. One should have an overall schedule, one should have a subject wise schedule, topic wise schedule, and daily schedule as well. Now how to prepare these schedules? Now for example, say it's October going on. Okay, now you are left with October, November, December and January. In February you have got the exam itself, so February is gone. In January, 1 month should be kept there for revision only. This is for revision purpose only. So this is also gone. Now you are left with 3 months, say. Now how to prepare the exam in 3 months? Now for this you have to make a calculated plan, a calculated schedule. Now in October, say there are 30 days. In November, there are 31 days. In November 30 and in December again 30. Now check the number of days on which you will not be able to study, because there might be some festival, there might be some function in your family, or there could be any reason. So check the number of days in October month for which you will not be able to study. Say you will not be able to study for 3 days here, 2 days here, and maybe 3 days here. Now you are left with how many days? 31 plus 30 plus 31, 92 minus 8. 92 minus 8 is 84 days. So you have to complete your syllabus in 84 days. Now arrange a timeline such that Now check. First of all, arrange all the subjects according to the toughness level. For example, thermo first, RAC second, fluid mechanics third, SOM fourth, and so on. Now check how many number of days you require for each subject. So maybe thermo, if you are good at thermo, you might complete it in 5 days. RAC is a smaller subject, you might complete it in 3 days. FM is a bit lengthy, so you might need 7 days. So one might need 6 days or so. Now similarly, calculate the number of days for all the subjects and see if they exceed 84 days. One should make a plan that all sum of all these subjects, this sum should be equal to or less than 84. Equal to or less than 84. Okay, so this should be equal to or less than 84. Okay, now once we have managed this thing, now see from October 1 to October 5 you have to study thermodynamics. Now October 6 to October 8 RAC, and so on. So make a plan like this. So you will be planning for each day. So you have a target in mind that from October 5 to October 8 or sorry October 1 to October 5 you have to study thermodynamics. So you have 5 days for thermodynamics and you have to finish with it. Okay. Meanwhile, if there is some day in which you are not able to study, remember you have already taken these 8 days extra. So you have got 8 days in buffer. I would suggest if you can increase these 8 days to maybe 10 or 12. So it depends on you. Okay. So this is how an overall schedule and a subject-wise schedule and topic-wise schedule should be made. Now, how to make daily schedule and what is the importance of daily schedule? See, daily schedule is, by daily schedule I mean you should make a timetable for yourself every day. Now, one should say that I tried making timetable for myself, but I could not follow it. And the reason of not being able to follow the timetable is because when we are making the timetable, we expect a little more from ourselves. So try to make daily timetable as practical as possible. But being as practical as possible doesn't mean you are studying for only 1 hour each day. But it doesn't also mean that you are studying for 12 to 14 hours each day, because that is not possible. So if you can study for 4-5 hours each day, then make the schedule for 4 to 5 hours each day. Okay, there is no hard and fast rule that you should study this much. See, number of hours does not matter that much. What matters is the quality of hours, like how much you are studying, how much you are grasping in those hours. That is what matters more rather than giving more number of hours. So if you want to grasp more in limited hours, I would suggest you to wake up early, maybe 5 o'clock or so, and give 2 hours in the morning, which is very important. See, 2 hours in the morning. Why it is always suggested to study in the morning? One should say, I am not able to wake up in the morning, I feel sleepy. Yes, you will feel sleepy for some days if you are not in a habit of waking up in the morning. But it will happen for maybe a week or so. Then once you get into the habit of waking up early, you will actually realize that you are gaining much more in the morning hours rather than in evening hours. Students say no, in the evening it's quiet, so I feel I'm in a habit of studying in the evening, late nights. I would say that what happens in the during late night or evening, our mind has already retarded. It is not as fresh as it is needed for the study. But in the morning, since you already have a sound sleep, so mind is fresh. Even these days, nobody wakes up in the morning. So even if you are in a hostel, so you do not expect your friends to wake up in the early morning. So the atmosphere is quite pleasant, it's quiet, and your mood is fresh, your mind is energetic, so you are able to grasp much more in the morning rather than in evening. So if you want to take want to get more in less number of hours, I would suggest to study more in the morning rather than in evening. And if you are able to study, give 2 hours in the morning, and during the day or evening if you are giving 2 to 3 hours more, I think that much is enough for gate preparation. One thing more, that one should take small breaks after every 30 minutes. You know what students just they just keep sitting and keep studying, and they do not take breaks. But it is scientifically proved that after 25 to 30 minutes, our mind, the grasping power of our mind comes down, and you learn a bit less. So if you can take small breaks, maybe a tea break, or you just go and listen to some music, so it will actually refresh your mind for next 30 minutes, and you will be able to study more, you will be able to grasp more. So if you want to convert your targets for each day to attain your targets, then you must take small breaks after every 30 minutes of the study. Okay. Now, after this one, say if you have got limited time left, and now you think that you are not able to cover whole syllabus, so what should one do? Like, I would suggest rather the way what I suggested earlier also, the subjects in which you are most comfortable, cover those subjects fully. For example, there are 12 subjects, so from 12 subjects there must be 4 subjects in which you are more comfortable. There might be around 4 to 5 subjects in which you are okay, and there might be 3 to 4 subjects in which you feel they are very tough. Okay, for these 8 to 9 subjects in which you feel you are very much comfortable, or you feel okay, so you should complete their syllabus, you should complete it fully. But for these 3 to 4 subjects which you feel are very tough, you can use this rule, 30:70 rule. Now, what is 30:70 rule? 30:70 rule is like 30% of the chapters are asked for 70% of marks from each subject. Like, for example, you have 10 chapters in any subject. So if you will look at the previous year question bank, then you will realize that more number of questions are asked from 30% of chapters only, and from rest 70% of chapters very less questions are being asked. So you have to get a good question bank in which it is clearly given, which is basically topic wise. It will be very much helpful if you can get a good gate question bank which is topic wise. So one of the good question bank is a Made Easy's question bank, which is a topic wise. So what you can do, like if you are studying, say let us say you face problem in Tom, so you check chapter 1 of Tom in this and see how many questions are given, in chapter 2, chapter 3, and see how many questions are given. You will realize that from maybe chapter 2, chapter 5 and chapter 7, the questions asked are a lot, and from other chapters there are lesser number of questions asked. So you can prepare only these 3 chapters rather than preparing whole syllabus for such subject which you feel are very tough. So for these 3 to 4 subjects you can use this strategy and prepare those subjects, so you will not lose much marks, and you will mostly all the things would be covered, and you will be able to attempt a lot of questions from these tough subjects also. Okay, so this is how one should work for the tough subjects. Now now what problem people face is like they're finished with the whole syllabus, but one is not able to revise this whole syllabus. People get jumbled up like how one should revise the syllabus. It's a huge syllabus. Now how to revise? So I would suggest that one should revise one a subject once it is finished, 20 days after it was finished, and the second revision should be done after the 30 days. Like first revision should be done 20 days of finishing it, and second revision should be done after the 40 days of the first revision, and third revision you can do in January, because in January you will be anyways revising all the subjects. Okay, I would suggest you to prepare your own notes, because your own notes are the best, your best friend. And rather than preparing your own notes, one should also do one more thing, that make one page notes for each chapter. Now these one page notes are very important. Like what do I mean by one page notes? Like for example, you are studying thermodynamics and you have finished with chapter 1, and you have solved all the previous year question papers from this chapter. Now during solving all the question papers, there must be some questions which are very much important and are being repeatedly asked in gate examination, and there might be some questions which you feel tough, you are not able to solve them, and you have to check the answers or check the solutions and how this was done. So make one page note for one chapter, and on those one page notes you should not have all the formula. You should only have the problems which have been asked again and again, and some problems in which you feel you were not able to solve them. Okay, you were feeling uncomfortable or you had to check the solutions, or only those things must be there. So say if there is a formula which you will anyways remember, there are very obvious formulas, so you do not need to write them again and again. Just write those things which you think you will be forgetting, or you should revise it often, so only those things should be written. Now while if you make one page note of every chapter, and if you can make a separate notebook of these one page notes, at the end of the syllabus you will actually have a notebook of whole syllabus, maybe 200 to 250 pages notebook of whole syllabus. So in January, when you want to revise whole syllabus, you can actually go through that notebook and revise whole syllabus in 2 to 3 hours. So it will actually make the things very much easier, because the problem most students experience is like they are able to complete the whole syllabus, but they are not able to revise them. So to revise the whole syllabus, these one page notes would be very very much helpful for you. Okay, so try to prepare that. Okay, another tip I would give is to take mock test series. The mock test series are very important. People often don't take mock test series because they don't feel what is the importance of mock test series. Actually, since see the gate exam is being conducted online now, so what happens when you actually sit online, give a mock test series, you will get into the practice of sitting like giving online exams, so it will increase your speed. Secondly, say if you have studied with you're finished with one subject, and you are not giving any mock test series for that subject, you have not given any test for that subject, so you will feel that, oh, this subject has been finished, I have mastered this subject. But only when you will give the test, you will know what is your problem areas. So this is very important. One should give a mock test as seriously as they are giving the actual gate exam. If you'll just give the mock test just like that, it will be of no use. One should revise the whole syllabus. Like if you are giving mock test of say thermodynamics, so one before giving the mock test you should be sure that you have revised the whole syllabus, and you should be prepared like, okay, tomorrow is my gate exam itself for thermodynamics only. so I should be prepared for like that. So it will be very much fruitful for you. Secondly, it also acquaints you to the online calculator, because you will be using online calculator for the calculation during gate exam. So it will be very much helpful for you. And also it will help you if you will earlier only low you will know it you will know pre earlier only if you there would be some problem. So it's better to see if there is any problem you are facing using this online examination system. So it's better if you know it earlier rather than knowing it in the gate exam itself. Okay, now before the final exam, how should one see? One should be as relaxed as possible. Try to keep yourself as relaxed as possible. See, if you believe in yourself, see, you have prepared for all these months and you have done all you could to the best of your ability. Now there is you should not think much before giving gate exam, like, oh, I have prepared like this, I have prepared like that, should I study this, should I revise that, should I revise it? No, your thoughts should be clear. Just revise those one page notes. I would suggest, if this is what I used to do. I used to go for a movie just a day or two before actual gate exam. Because I feel it releases the pressure and tension from your mind. So it's really really helpful. Because I would generally leave studies before 2 3 days, because it just before studying before the gate exam, it gives a lot of tension. I would suggest you, if you not to bring notes during your to the exam center for last minute preparation, because last minute preparation doesn't actually help. It's a huge syllabus. So if you have not studied properly throughout the year, last minute preparation is not going to help. And I would suggest, do not discuss any questions or something with friends at the last time, because it would create confusion in your mind. Okay, so these are the some important tips for your gate preparation. Thank you.